All right, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is a different video. Usually I'll be recording some gameplay. I do like some Yu-Gi-Oh, and I do like to play it IRL. So this is just gonna be my Harpie Lady profile. I've been playing these girls since the anime showed them, and then they're like their cards now. I'm just like, okay, well, they're mine now. So let's just get started with the first three. So the first three I have are Harpie Lady ones. I chose these Harpies over the Cyber Harpies because sure, the Cyber Harpies have more attack points even with the boost. But we run a lot of wind monsters in here. So the boost is gonna apply not only to your Harpie wind monsters, but to the Harpies, like to the other wind monsters. If you can hear background noise, it's because everyone's watching the football game. All right. So yeah, that's why I chose to run 3 Harpie Lady ones over the Cyber Harpies and the Vanilla Harpies. Next up, we have, probably she was the most popular card back then to help get the Harpies running. Back then, I mean like a few years ago. Harpie Channeler. She, was our major play starter. She still can be our major play starter. She's still really good though, so I would always want her at 3 so we can always run into her, draw into her. So all she does is you play her, activate her effect, which you dump 1 Harpie card. It can be a spell, monster, or trap. You dump 1 to the grave, and you can special summon 1 Harpie monster from your deck. This can be any Harpie monster. It can be Harpie Pet Dragon for the rank 7 plays. It can be a regular Harpie. Doesn't matter. So yeah, she is one of the main peoples here. Next up, I'm gonna play 3 Harpie Perfumers. She has definitely became probably the most important Harpie monster card in the Harpie deck. What she does is when she's normal summoned or special summoned, you can get a Harpie. You can add 1 spell or trap card that lists Harpie Ladies in the text. So whenever she's summoned to the field, you want to grab, it depends on what you're doing, but usually, if we want to extend our plays, you'd want to grab an Elegant Egotist. So yeah, she's really good because you don't need to special summon her. She's a level 4, so she's the easy, regular summon. And then you get and then you get a spell card, which I like to go for Elegant Egotist. All right, next up is Harpie Harpist. We are gonna run 3 of her because a lot of the older Harpie cards like Dancer, Harpie Queen, they're not really seeing a lot of play right now because their effects are kind of not that good. But Harpist at least still lets you, in your end phase, get a Harpie monster at the end of your turn. So that's really good. You're going to go and at least start off with a Harpie monster. But she does have a condition because she has 2 effects. But the main one we're going to use is her graveyard effect. It says you can add 1 level 4 wing beast type monster with 1500 or less. That's really good because Harpie Perfumer is 1300. So you can grab her. You can grab Channeler. You can grab any Harpie with 1400 or less, 1500 or less attack points. So like one of the main combos before would be to like summon Harpie Harpist, activate Harpist effect, throw our Channeler effect, throw Harpist into the graveyard. And then you could special summon a Harpie. You activate Perfumer's effect because it's an unsummon effect. So no matter what, you're going to get that card. And you can go ahead and grab Elegant Egotist. And then Elegant Egotist, as long as you have a Harpie monster in the field, you can special summon a Harpie. So then you bring Harpie Lady 1. And that's an easy 3 Harpie Ladies on the field. And then at the end phase of your turn, you can activate Harpist effect. And you go ahead and grab whichever Harpie you need. 2 Harpie Queens because really, her effect is not that good. It's just a field spell searcher, so you just discard her from your hand, and then you can grab Harpie's hunting ground. But she's in here just because it's another Harpie name. You know, you never know when you need it for the XCs or whatever you need. And then, there's not a lot of back row being played right now. It's very spell heavy deck. So really, like, if you want to just use the field spell to boost up the attack points of your Harpies, or just to like pop even some of your own back row cards, because you know Hysteric Sign has a effect where if it's popped, you could add 3 Harpie cards from your deck to your hand. And then the one of Harpie cards, I'm running Harpie Dancer and Harpie Oracle. I used to have Oracle at 2. But I cut her down to 1, and I'm liking her at 1. You know, she shows up when unexpectedly, and that's when I want her to show up. And then Harpie Dancer, it used to be my favorite Harpie card because I love her. Look at how beautiful she is. And she's just dancing, and she's just being a fucking baddie. But I think now Perfumer is my favorite one. This one. But yeah, I think all the Harpie artworks are amazing. Even Queen. She looked kind of basic right there, but you know, she a baddie. Anyways, Harpie Dancer's effect is when you summon her. Her effect doesn't happen on summon. It can happen whenever. So when you summon Harpie, you can go ahead and do a play. Or you can even activate it right then and there. Her effect is when you can send her back to your hand and special summon, or not special, but normal summon one wind monster in your hand. So Oracle. And you know, I think so if I use her effect and this is in my hand, I'm pretty sure you can normal summon him. Because he's a wind monster, it doesn't have level restrictions. So you can go ahead and get a Tempest out. So yes, the next card I do run is Tempest. These are my one-ofs. Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms, Harpie's Pet Dragon, Barrier Statue of the Windstorms, Ash Blossom, and Ghost and Ogre Snow Rabbit. I really like this tech choice because I do run Smorg in the deck. So on my end turn, I'll just go ahead and summon Barrier Statue. And it's going to make the opponent like really have to think what they got to do, because what Barrier Statue does is no monsters can be special summoned except for wind monsters. So they're going to have to destroy this card first before they want to make any type of special play. And then Pet Dragons in here, only for rank 7s. I only have 1 rank 7 anyway. So Harpie Channeler's other effect is when there's a dragon on the field, she becomes level 7. So this is going to be 2 level 7s. So yeah. Those are my one-ofs. And then these are just for hand traps. Next up, we're running, ew, I need to get a not common. 3 Elegant Egotist. I know that, you know, you can grab this card from the graveyard or from the deck. So people would probably run it at 1. But honestly, at 3, I like it because it helps thin out your deck quicker and get to, you know, cards you want or cards you need. So Elegant Egotist's effect is if Harpie Lady is on the field, special summon 1 Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters from your hand. You can only summon this Harpie or Harpie Lady Sisters, which is the rank 5, but I do not play the rank 5 one. So this card can only target this Harpie Lady. I recommend this at 3 though, it's very good. I find myself personally going through most of my Elegant Egotists, like my first 2 turns. It's crazy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. All right. Next, up. Hold on, let me get this situated because I accidentally messed it up. Next up, we are running 3 Hysteric Signs. This is probably their best spell card. Also one of the best spell cards in the game, probably. It says when this card is activated, you can add a 1 Elegant Egotist from your deck to your hand. During the end phase, so this is its second effect. During the end phase, the turn this card was sent from the field or the graveyard, add up to 3 Harpie cards with different names from your deck to your hand. So say I have this set and I pop it with Harpie's Hunting Ground or a Harpie card effect and it goes to the graveyard. At the end of my turn, I can get 3 Harpie cards. It doesn't even have to be monsters. It can be spells, traps with different names. So I'll show you later what you can get with that. Next up, I am running 2 Harpie's Hunting Ground for the attack boost or to pop your own cards like this card. So yeah. And then for the one-ofs, I'm running a Swallow's Nest, a Double or Nothing, Harpie's Feather Rest. Let's put this over here. Harpie's Feather Duster, and Called by the Grave. Double or Nothing is because I'm running the double Utopia cards in my extra deck. Swallow's Nest is just a cute little tech choice where, you know, say you're attacking for game and you need that extra monster to attack. You tribute one of your face-up monsters and then summon from your deck the same level and then, you know, go ahead and attack. Or it can be any Wing Beast type monster. You just have to make sure the monster you're coming out is the same level. Harpie's Feather Rest. I used to run also the other Harpie card, but I was like, I don't feel no used to it. But Harpie's Feather Rest, I like it just that one because it says target 3 Harpie Lady and or Harpie Lady sisters in your graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck. Then draw 1 card. If you controlled a level 5 or Harpie monster, when you activated this effect, draw 2 cards instead. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except win monsters. And then once per turn. So this is going to be my level 5 or higher. So if I activate this during this turn, I get to draw 2 cards. But yeah. These are just my one-ofs. And then of course we have to run Harpie's Feather Duster. She was banned for like millions and thousands of years. So, you know, all the Harpie players are dying to like play this. She's been locked up for a long time, okay? Alright, next up we have 2 Hysteric Parties. This is another reason why I only run Harpie's Feather Rest, because Hysteric Parties is discard 1 card, any card, and special summon as many Harpie monsters from your graveyard to your field. So if you have 6 Harpie monsters in your field, you can summon up to 5, the most, and 1, the least. It just depends on how much board spaces you have left. So this is pretty much used to be the Harpie's win condition, but we have other means to reach that. Alright. And then probably the best trap card Harpie's ever got, and probably one of the best hand traps, is Harpie's Featherstorm. This card, I remember watching it in the anime. Mai used it, and I'm like, okay, where's the card at? Where's the card, beach? She barely got into a card a couple years ago. So her effect reads, if you control a wing beast type monster, which we always will, until the end of this turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. So this is shutting down the whole board for your opponent. Like, they cannot do nothing. And then monster effects your opponent. If you control a Harpie monster, you can activate this card from your hand. So usually trap cards you want to set, and they don't work until the next turn, which would be your opponent's turn. That's when you can, you know, flip over trap cards. But for this trap card, you don't even have to set it. As long as you have a Harpie monster on the field, you can play this card from hand. So they'll never know when you have a Harpie's Featherstorm. Oh. So this card is just best. I mean, really good. All right. And for the last card and last trap in the main deck is going to be Infinite Impermanence. I used to I used to run 2, and then I used to run 3, then 2. Now I just have it at 1 because we have those other hand traps. Plus, I don't know. I just want to get to different cards faster. Infinite Permanence is kind of like a... If you go second and then if you get board wiped, you could use this card. It's really good. But if you get board wiped, you're just going to die. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on now. Alright. Now for the extra deck, I am running the newest Harpie monster and card. 2 Cyber Slashes. I think 2 is enough. Look at how beautiful this is. Oh my god. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster. And then it says, for this card Synchro Summon, you can treat 1 Harpie monster you control as a tuner. So that's very interesting. So usually to summon these kind of synchro cards, you would need a tuner and then a non-tuner. But for her, one of her effects is you don't need a tuner. You can treat a Harpie monster as a tuner. And she's a level 8. So that just makes it so much funnier. I don't know if that's broken or not. This card's name becomes Harpie Lady, of course. So its main effect is when a spell or trap card or effect is activated, except during the damage step, and it's a quick effect. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, or 1 Harpie monster you control, return it to the hand. Next up, we are running 2 Harpie Conductors. This is our Link boss monster. It just needs 2 wind monsters to summon. It says, if a Harpie monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card instead. So say you have this on the field, and a Harpie monster is getting targeted or is going to die. You pop this card, and you keep this monster safe. And then at your end phase, you can activate this effect, which I'm still going to go over later. So yeah, she's only a 1900, so not bad. Next up, I have Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. We all know why he's here. He's just really good. And then I added him recently, actually. Smorg Bird of Sovereignty. You know the Yu-Gi-Oh game, Duelist? What's it called? Yu-Gi-Oh! The one that's like on the consoles and the Switch and the Xbox and all that. That one. I added him on there and I really liked him. His effect is... your opponent cannot target this or a winged beast monster this card points to with card effects. This card will be destroyed by battle. You can destroy 1 other Smorg card you control instead. During the end phase, you can special summon 1 winged beast monster from your hand or deck with the level equal to or lower than the number of unused spell and trap zones on the field. So Yu-Gi-Oh likes to just write whole ass essays. So let's just go ahead and play it out. So you summon him and say, so it's the end phase, right? It's your end phase. I usually like to do this play. So it says you can special summon a monster whose level is equal to the unused spell or trap card zones on your field. So you have 5, right? So I can summon a level 5 or lower monster. So I usually like to summon Barrier Statue of the Storm Winds to really lock out my opponent. And say I have 5 and I choose him, so that's 4. I can do that again next turn if Smorg is still on the board. I can summon another 5 or lower. But yeah, I just like to use this to lock out my opponent. Up, I am running the Utopia and the Utopia Double. 2 Chidori Lightnings, because we all know he's obnoxious. 2 Pet Phantasmal Dragons. 1 Abyss Dweller. 1 Zero Fiend, and 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. So Chidori just only takes 2 level 4 monsters. He has 2 effects. When he is summoned, he has a summon effect where any face down card your opponent controls, send them to the bottom of the deck. And then his second effect is you can discard 1 of his materials and target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and return them to the top of your deck. I like doing that a lot. This card is obnoxious. Then we have Ice Beast, just to negate, just like a mass effect, like a mass negate effect where you negate all your opponent's monsters. And then for every face-up card other than this card, you gain 300 attack for each. So she can get really big and negate, and it won't, her effects won't run off until mine's, well, the attack won't. Abyss Dweller, basically just negate graveyard monster effects. Utopia and Utopia Double, it's just to, you know, get the double or nothing, because I don't think I mentioned double or nothing, did I? But I showed it. So what this effect is, you summon out Utopia Double, then you discard 1 card, and you can use this as a material to summon this card, and you get this. So Double or Nothing says when a monster's attack is negated, target that monster. It can make a second double attack. So the combo is attack with Utopia, use Utopia's effect to negate the attack, then play Double or Nothing, and his attack is going to be 10,000. So yeah. Harpie's pet. I like to use that pet Phantasmal if I need to stall, you know, for a couple turns, because it's really, this card's underrated and it's kind of annoying to get rid of. So his effect is he can attack directly, and this card can attack your opponent directly. Your opponent cannot target any Harpie monsters with effects or for attacks. So that's really good. But his effect is mandatory, so even if you don't use any of his effects, you still have to discard, which is fair, because then he would be really broken and probably banned. And then for the 1 level 7 is Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. It's just to burn your opponent whenever they activate effect. Activate a card or effect. So like spell heavy decks are going to get burned for 500 damage each time they activate a card. And then this can really make them think like, oh shit, let me tone it down before I lose too much life points, because they already most decks, they are going in deep. So 4, that's already 2,000 damage, you know. And then if they don't play right, then next turn I could kill them.